Hi, everybody. Welcome to Reserve Seating. We are wrapping up Best September Ever month, celebrating the movies of September 1994 with the, I don't know, is it a hot take to say it's the best movie of September 1994? Wouldn't it
But
be great if, like, Trial by Jury was actually better than Shawshank and none of us did?
nobody.
If it's so great, why isn't it on TNT every
I don't
single
know.
day?
Yeah, I was reading on Wikipedia, they were saying that one of the reasons why it aired on TNT so often was that they secured the rights to the movie really cheap because it did so poorly at the box office. And
Right.
then, but because it was so popular from home video, they could charge through the roof for advertising for people. So it was like super lucrative for them to show it. Rob, what's and I want to ask this of everybody, what's your first experience watching Shawshank? Was it in the theaters originally, or was it on video or TNT or what?
No, I was far too young for this. So this was like everybody else my age bracket. It was on TNT
Young.
on.
Sorry.
Too young for us.
Oh, I was born in the late 80s.
Guys,
I'm a millennial.
Rob, I'm sorry. I need to tell Margo and Sonia the rules before they get on, that you have to read the Bible. You can't claw at the wall for 30 years, and you have to respect Rob.
I watched it on TNT because I was young and I was interested in prison life.
Margo, how about you?
So I saw this in the theater, but it was like February of 95. It was in the theaters for a while. And I saw, no, sorry, it was the spring of 95. I had just moved to New York. I had graduated college. You do the math. Anyway, I was staying at a relative's house. She was awful. They had no air conditioning. I was hot. I went to the movie theater. I saw Apollo 13, 9 months, and Shawshank Redemption all in the same day.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
2 out of 3 ain't bad. I worked at the movie theater at this time, and it played at my theater. So I saw it when it first came out. I saw it a few more times, and I loved it. Loved. And couldn't believe that it wasn't making more money. Like when people weren't coming in to see it, I was like, it's really good. And I kept telling people what's good? I'm like, Shawshank's really good. And some people took my rec, but a lot of people didn't care because they were there for whatever. And maybe they were there for Simple Twist of Fate with Steve Martin, and they weren't
For
going to
9 months.
see, or
You
9
ran?
or whatever.
Leanne Moore. I mean, come on.
But I just thought it was so good. And the people who did come to see it always left crying.
This is one of those movies where it's been discussed and talked about and worked over so many times. Two things to ask our guests: is this your favorite Stephen King adaptation, or one of, like, where would you rank it in Stephen King adaptations? And what about it makes it distinct?
I think the writing is exceptional. I think this is from, I have a, hold on a sec.
Did we
This
hear
is
what
my
how
copy
Adam?
of Different Seasons.
Hey.
So this is one of my favorite Stephen King books. There are 4 novellas. They all became movies. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's outstanding. It's such an almost an the story itself is great, Stephen King, but the adaptation is incredible. The script is great. The casting is great. Yeah, there you go.
There might not be a better last minute of a movie than Shawshank Redemption.
Agreed.
Like, I think it's not the reason why it has the legacy that it does, but it certainly helps that, like, you leave the theater feeling like like, obviously he's on a beach in Mexico, but the way that it's shot, it's like when you reunite with somebody in heaven. I mean,
yes,
that's why it's so powerful. It's just like such a beautiful ending.
It's bananas that ending almost didn't happen, that he was maybe not going to film that ending and he thought it was too sappy. And I think it's like the perfect, and it leaves you feeling
hopeful.
Happy. Yeah, and hopeful. Exactly. Like, it's the perfect ending.
So the past 2 times I've seen this movie, I've noticed a few things a little bit more than usual. So I saw it in a movie theater for the first time in January last year, and I was just gobsmacked by the cinematography by Roger Deakins and the score, especially by Thomas Newman. Like, it's the fact that he did this in Little Women, like, in the same season, basically. It's like
Another
jaw-dropping. But
favorite.
yeah, but I mean, like, there's just shots and crane operation in this movie that like just takes my breath away. It's just like everything is perfect about it.
What I think makes the movie last and also makes it so great for TV is because it's very episodic. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
not, it's a movie you can really pick up anywhere.
Mhm.
And I think that speaks to its television legacy as well.
I noticed too, it's a movie that's easy for an audience member to latch onto, because at times everybody's felt like they're at rock bottom or like
Mhm.
they're really struggling, and it's sort of like an immediate identification with like, okay, you have this protagonist who's at his rock bottom, and then it's like you're going along on this journey in parallel with him.
Mhm.
And it's like something that is really inspirational, like that you kind of see like with time and with patience and with things like that, that things can improve.
It's that core metaphor of like pressure and time, geology. You know, like the whole idea of that running theme of geology, you know, being, or that running symbol of like it's so much about like wait it out, small steps, take your time, like be patient, like all that stuff. And I think that that's another part that makes it resonate. I was thinking about this movie as like a dad movie, but it's not a dad movie. I think it's just there's a unique masculinity to this movie, I think, because it's sentimental, but it's not saccharine. And I think men specifically feel comfortable with this movie because it is not, it doesn't ask too much of you emotionally, but it allows you to give a lot emotionally, which I think
Yeah.
is a tricky thing for a lot of men when they're watching movie. I'm speaking as a man, but like it's that thing where it's like, you know, you don't want to push too much into like Green Mile, like for example, Adam, like to use a very close
Yes.
comparison. Like Green Mile, I think, is more sentimental and more saccharine than this movie. It's a lot more,
Yeah.
which is okay, but it's a lot more on the other edge where people are just like openly weeping all the time in that movie. Whereas this
Right.
one, there's still enough sort of stoic kind of, you know what I mean? Like the Tim Robbins character is just a very different kind of character. And obviously Freeman is so sort of steady in this that I think it gives men permission to have feelings, which a lot of movies don't do.
Right.
And I think that's what another thing that makes it really last.
I would
It's about
say
friendship.
right.
Like at the core, it's about their friendship, and it is hopeful about it, and it's not mushy, and they're not bonded together by like, I don't know, car chases and things like that we get from other movies about male
Right.
friendship.
No, it's platonic male love. You and I actually had a conversation about this a few days ago, right? About like the love men can have for one another that's so different than you can have for a romantic partner. Like male friendship could be very intense because you aren't as open about your feelings like women are. We just tell each other, I love you, I care about you. We say things like that, and then it's more of show me, you know, and they show one another. And the way they treat one another is really special.
Yeah.
I love the line of just when he says like, or maybe I just miss my friend. When he's
Yes.
talking, you know, and I'm like, oh, and then the stuff at the end where he's just like, you know, something along the lines of I'm excited to see my friend, or, you know, something like that. And it's just like,
Yeah.
it's so wholesome, and it just hits me in such a soft spot.
When he has the thing about getting the beers for the guys on the roof,
Yeah.
and it's just like, I think he just did it to feel normal again.
Yes.
It's like, that's so rare to have an observation like that in a movie. And the way that they say it is so eloquent, and it's not ham-handed at all. And like it snuck up on me, and like I was like weeping for like over beers on a roof. And it's just like, but that's like combining with the acting and with the screenplay and with the cinematography and the music. It's just like all just is like this emotional tornado. It's crazy. I feel like this movie became uncool for a little while. Like maybe it was like after the IMDb #1, um, like it's the best movie of all time. But and like it kind of, I feel like, and maybe I'm just speaking for myself, it sort of became like uncool to say this is one of your favorite movies, like that you're like a basic person if like that's the case. So I'm wondering if you ever sort of like pushed back on the movie even though you liked it, because you were just like, maybe it's not as good as I remember it being, or maybe it was a movie of its time.
No.
That's awesome. Yeah.
No, and yeah.
Yeah,
No.
I was
I
gonna.
love what I love.
Yeah.
Is this Morgan Freeman's best performance?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
He should have won
Yeah.
Best Actor this year.
Yes.
This is the perfect use of him. One,
Yeah.
because the voice, right, doing the narration, but also, yeah, he's just quiet and thoughtful.
And Adam,
and
you would agree this is a lead performance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's 2 lead performances in this
Okay.
movie.
I don't know how you nominate Morgan Freeman and not Tim Robbins. Like, I feel like you
Yeah.
need them together. And yes, it would have split the vote, but again, it wouldn't have mattered because they weren't going to win anyway. But their performances together are so lovely and connected.
Sonia, did you know that the reformatory where they shot this movie is in Mansfield, Ohio?
What?
I did not know that. Now I do.
Yeah.
I should get some merch.
If you could play a record for all of your prisoner friends to make them feel better, what record would you play?
Oh, I picked Comfortably Numb because everybody knows it. And it's epic.
Should it be Freebird?
That would
Do
be
you like
good.
Freebird?
See what you did there. Yeah.
I would go Inagata de Vida because it's long. So, Margo, have you seen the River Wild quiz show in Ed Wood?
I've seen them all, yeah.
Okay. So let's rank all 4 movies from favorite to least favorite.
Shawshank, Quiz Show, Ed Wood, then the River Thing.
Okay. All right, Rob, what about you?
River Wild, Quiz Show, Shawshank, Ed Wood.
Okay. I have Shawshank number 1, Ed Wood 2, Quiz Show number 3, and River Wild number 4. Do you think Kevin Bacon and John C. Reilly would have made a good Shawshank Redemption?
I don't know what I just walked back into.
Yeah, you're fine.
All right, Sonia, you have to rank from favorite to least favorite: Shawshank, River Wild, Quiz Show, and Ed Wood.
Oh, I definitely like Shawshank the most.
Mm-hmm.
Shawshank.
And then probably Quiz Show.
Quiz Show.
Okay.
And then Ed Wood. And then the River Wild.
Thank you, Margo and Sonia, for joining us. This was fun. I really love having you on the show.
Yes.
So we will catch up with you both soon. So we'll be back next week with a Scary Movie Month preview where Rob and I will talk about new movies to us that we haven't seen that we plan on watching for the first time in October, and what we have coming up in terms of podcasts and writing and what's coming on reserved seating. So Margo and Sonia, tell us Margo and Sonia, tell us where we can find you on the internet.
You can find me at Brooklyn Fitchick. That's my site. I'm there for Threads and Instagram, and I'm at Brooklyn Margo for TikTok and Twitter. And my shows are Dorking Out, What a Creep, and Book versus Movie.
And you could find me on 2 of Margo's podcasts out of 3. I'm also on Dorking Out and What a Creep. And you can find me at thesoniashow.com and The Sonia Show on Twitter and Instagram and even TikTok.
Okay, so until next time.
Get busy living or get busy dying.